So just an update from the woods. Something of a sign of life, I guess. Hope everybody's okay. It's been very wet and quite cool here. Bit weird for July, but there we go. So I'm just out of a little late afternoon walk, and then I'm going to go home, and then I'm going into town for my yoga group. So there's a nice helps my back. Funnily enough, I was having a lot of pain in my foot recently. That seems to have sorted itself, which I'm very glad of. So yeah, it's been a bit of a tricky couple of weeks. Yeah, mentally not great. I was actually I forgot what I was going to say now. Live action forgetfulness. I'm just looking this way because someone was calling with a dog. Sometimes I wish I had a dog. Unfortunately, my working hours aren't amenable to that. But yeah, I was talking to someone recently, and I said my sort of default emotional state is grief. Like, you know, it's not anger or something like that. It is grief, and I think that's actually very true. Like, I'm 44 now, not getting any younger, and yeah, you know, I was just thinking earlier, the part of me that thinks, you know, what would my children look like? What would their voices sound like? What would they be like as people? What would it have been like to have experienced being loved by another person? And look, I know what the response comments are going to be, but we've got to be realistic. It's not going to happen. You know, it is what it is. I can't do anything more. Society, the system is not set up that way. They don't want people getting together, having families and so forth. They want you alone, they want you isolated. That way you're easily controlled. And, you know, you'll just work your little bottom off and pay your tax. Then you'll do as you're told. I mean, here's the thing, look, I'm not an anarchist. I don't think, you know, we do need systems to keep people safe and that sort of thing. I don't disagree with that. But they do want you alone. All the messaging, particularly on social media, you know, the messaging to men that I see all the time is that women are just trash, women are garbage. That isn't true. Yeah, it's very troubling in that way. The messaging to women is that men are crap, and that's not true either. You know, it's all very divisive. It's all very, everyone sucks apart from you. There are a lot of good people out there, but I think most have just given up. You know, that's kind of how it is. Yeah, and I don't see any way out of that, sort of, personally. I was thinking today, you know, the reality is no one sort of gives me a chance, really. You know, often when I sort of raise it, people say, oh, you're probably saying the wrong thing. You know, you're doing this, you're doing this. No, just the conversations just aren't happening. I think I said in an earlier video I was on an app, you know, and I got 2 matches and 2 likes, and that was it. No messages, no replies. You know, how do you overcome that? Yeah. So, you know, I'm sort of in a position of it's, well, all I can really do is work, earn as much money as I can, try and enjoy, you know, travelling and this sort of thing, my hobbies. I actually saw a post recently today, well, I don't know if it's today or recently anyway, from a woman saying, well, you know, I talk to men and like they've got no hobbies. I'm like, I've got loads of hobbies, loads of stuff I do, loads of things I'm into. But I mean, look, I'm at a point. I think there is a spiritual aspect to it. My ex dabbled in witchcraft and this sort of thing, which I completely condemn. Who knows? I mean, I know some of the people she was associating with, I don't know, maybe they did something. I don't know. I'm at a point, I don't know how else to explain it. I don't think I'm hideous. Try my best to be a good person, I just don't get it. So, yeah, you know, it makes you, it's difficult, it's hard to sort of keep faith and keep hope after so many years. You know, it's been, I think it'll be 9 years this December that my ex basically just tried to well, I mean, she was trying to encourage me to kill myself. So I don't know if I really need to expand on that. That's what I was dealing with. And then subsequent to that, I think, as I've said before, I only really met one person where I really wanted to be with her. I really liked her. I really thought like my ship had come in, and nope. She went off and got herself a clone. So yeah, you know, it's a slog, and there's a lot of anxiety, and I'm very, very tired. You know, but I don't particularly know what the sort of solution is. I sort of feel like the world just doesn't give me a break. You know, like doesn't give me a chance, and it's kind of, I think it's almost like to succeed, whether that's in romance or your career or whatever, then you know you've got to be what I would regard as quite a bad person, really. You know, not a lot of empathy, not a lot of care for others, and that's not what I want to be. So, but hey, the woods are pretty. I like the bird song. By the way, there's an app called Merlin, which you kind of set it going, and it identifies all the bird calls. So it will say like, oh, this is a robin, or this is a jackdaw, or whatever. Well, it's really neat. It's nice to sort of learn a bit about nature, you know. Yeah, it's quite good. I think there are similar ones for like you can identify plants and such things like that. I don't have that one, but I find it all very interesting. I like the woods. I feel quite at peace in the woods, you know. Well, I'll try and leave that on a more positive note. Of course, one tries to maintain some degree of hope, but I definitely feel the sort of the relentless march of time. And this is it doesn't seem to sort of get easier as you get older. I think it gets harder. I think I'm in a really weird age, because I think a lot of people, probably men and women, are kind of right. This is my sort of my last shot. It's my last what's the word? My last roll of the dice. So they're like, it's got to be this, and they have this list of all that they want. And yeah, I don't particularly think I'm really asking much. Be nice to me. Want kids. Don't have like horrible vices. Most of the stuff, there's probably some room for compromise. But, well, we'll see. Well, that's enough. I've rambled on for 11 minutes now, so I'm going to go home and get ready to go out. So I'll see you later. Peace out.